Do you ever think of an idea for a video, think it'll be really cool and fit the theme, and then when you do it, realise it's a bit much? Hey guys, it's model making time, and today we're looking at the 7TP, both the single and dual turret variants, which are models from first to last, which are things that I didn't even know existed. I feel really out of the loop for model manufacturers because I didn't know these guys existed, and although I don't really make tanks, I thought I knew most of the common manufacturers, but apparently not. So after going to get my nails done, which I love, by the way, I decided to go to Halifax Modellers World, the model shop in Halifax, and see if I could find something that was sparked my imagination, gave me joy, and that I just was really passionate to build. And I was wandering around and found these boxes, and some of them had magazines with them, some of them didn't have magazines with them, and these two were two tanks that I'd never heard of, and I was like, oh, they're interesting, and then realised they were Polish manufacturers, and it was all in Polish, and I was like, oh, okay, Google that, and then I was like, oh, wow, these tanks are Polish tanks from 1939 that were fought in the Defence of Warsaw. I was like, wow, I have to build these. When I got them, they were £5 each, I think an absolute steal. So just to talk about these tanks a little bit, these are based on the Vickers 6-ton model, which didn't really sell in the UK, but did sell internationally. And Poland was one of those people who bought the tank. They developed several different versions of it, including a single turret variant and a dual turret variant. I've got both of them over here. We're going to build both of them. We'll have a look at both in a moment as well, what's in the box and what have you. What's interesting to note is that although the dual turret variant is kind of not successful and they only really went with the single turret variant, as a light tank, it was viewed as probably superior to most of the German light tanks of its time. Much like the French, however, the Polish struggled by having not enough equipment, so the limited tanks they have were just not sufficient to deal with the massive numbers that the Germans had. But also, the Germans used very different tactics that we've never seen before in modern warfare. As a result of that, although the 7TP was superior technically, it just wasn't fielded in enough numbers to counteract the mass forces of Germany. No 7TPs survive to this day, a lot in their original state. You've seen some footage of one today, and I'll leave the links in the description so you can go check out the respective channels they've come from. That is a recreation that was made by salvaging parts of different tanks, looking at original schematics and rebuilding one. You can see that it's a really capable tank, so hopefully we can recreate that in model form today. So let's go have a look at what's inside the box. We got two tanks to do today. We've got the dual turret version, and we've got the single turret version. They are basically the exact same tank, guys, both developed from the Vickers 6 tons, so we're gonna do both. They were both only £5 each, so they're pretty damn cheap. So if we have a look on the back as well, I see glorious news, which is no tank tracks on either of these, which I'm really excited about. Look how different they look though. So this one's obviously got a single turret, single cannon. This one has dual turrets. Cannot speak properly today. The colours are relatively similar. The camo is relatively similar. You wouldn't really expect anything different. So we're gonna have a look in both boxes. Okay, so there we go. That's literally it. You just get the instructions in the back here. Wow, really straightforward, huh? So bottom of the tank, top of the tank, things that tanks have. You can tell I'm really technical on the whole tank front, huh? Tank tracks. I love these because I don't have to melt anything. Please stop doing that, manufacturers. This looks like it's the turret here. I assume this is the cannon. Okay, let's move on to the dual turret variant. Really excited to have a look at this one. So this one has more sprues, but I guess we would expect that, right? So same base, wider here, I think. Tank tracks again, but I don't have to do anything with them. Turret again is literally just double everything and smaller. It actually looks pretty straightforward, so I'm really excited to do that. And so this is like a World War II collection, so I'm curious if this manufacturer does anything else. I guess we'll have a look at that later. Maybe when I'm editing the video, I can insert something if there is anything. I looked online, I can't find anything for these guys to suggest when these are from, so I'm genuinely not sure. However, I think they're relatively recent. I mean, I've seen some videos from this year for them, some articles dating back to 2013 for other things saying first like models that they've done in plastic. I'm genuinely not sure. Looks like it's a fairly regular magazine in Poland, so interesting to know if I see anything else that I like from these. I've seen a couple of things I'm sort of looking at already, which is unusual because I don't really do tanks, but hey, I like things that are unusual, so here we go. Now that you've seen the model, I just thought I'd let you know that I'm going to be at Scale Model World on the 13th of November. I'm only there on the Saturday, and if you want to say hi to me, please do so. I'll be vlogging the whole thing, so if you can't make it, then you can just watch the vlog of it, which will go up hopefully a couple of days later, so you can experience the whole convention from, you know, the safety of your own home. Anyway, let's get on and build these tanks. So these tanks are so easy to put together, and I was blown away by it. So you guys know me, I'm not great with tanks, right? They are like, I struggle with them. They are somewhat of a nightmare for me, but these were really nice to put together, and I think it's because the tracks didn't try and be anything extra. They were just solid plastic, and you just pop them on and that's it. There's no messing around with it, and I really enjoyed that, you know? These were really fun to put together. They were really quick, and they'd be perfect for someone who just wants an evening project after work, or even something, you know, just to do at the weekend. You can definitely get these models finished in a really confined space of time. There's no decals to do either, which is both a blessing and a curse. Obviously, it means you're not going to get quite the level of detail you would with a full kit, but at the same time, again, I paid £5 for these, and I think ones that come with the magazines are like £10, so if it is a magazine, I'm not sure, but either way, they're not massively expensive, so I'm not too fussed about it. And if you want extra detail, I guess you could probably go out your way and add it, and people who are really affectionate about this particular type, I guess, will do that. I, on the other hand, just wanted to make some nice little tanks, and so I just went ahead and built them. As I said before, they were really easy to put together, and the models are identical. The only difference is that centerpiece where the turret goes. Obviously on one of them it's a double turret configuration, on the other one it's a single turret. Otherwise the sprues are exactly the same. The turrets themselves are the hardest things to put together, but that in part is because I was just being very dumb and accidentally building them the wrong way up. So that's my own fault. That is probably in part just, you know, not used to really building tanks as well, because like with aircraft, I'm so used to building aircraft now that there are some bits that I just know what to do, like instantly, yeah, that's what I need to do, yeah, that's what I need to do, whereas on tanks, it's a new thing for me, so I guess I need to learn a lot about that, but we'll get there in time, won't we? So it's not the end of the world. But yeah, I really enjoyed making these. They were really fun and didn't really take me much time. I think I built both of them in the same stream with very little effort. And to be honest, that's exactly what I was hoping from them. An unusual little subject that didn't take me a massive amount of time, but gave me a lot of joy. And as I always say, that's what the hobby should always be about, is getting joy. So as you can see, I've built them both. The second one was obviously a lot easier because I basically already built it already. Hey guys, so this is just day 2, and I was going to put myself back on the tripod, but it's quite, well, I haven't tidied my desk, I'm going to be really honest with you, so I'm going to get on to doing like the tanks, finishing them off. It's just a case of painting them really at this point, and then weathering them. I always forget to do weathering on stream. I'll try and remember this time, but I'm not going to make any promises, and then after that, I guess we'll look at the look at the pictures and see what we think. Okay, so we are on to the painting element, and I've undercoated both of these in white. You know that is what I go for these days. A nice little white undercoat tends to bring out the colour better than anything else. And I started off with the base coat, which was just like a nice beigey sand colour. And this is basically following the books as much as I could. I don't believe it had paint numbers on them. I don't have the box right in front of me, but I don't think it did. And basically what I did was just try to follow it as close as I could. And in the actual store itself, when I was at the model shop, I literally just took the box, stood there and like looked at which Revell paints would match the most. And obviously I probably could have gone with different manufacturers, but I always try and get Revell just so I have the same consistency. I know how the paints work, and I really enjoy using them. It's a relatively standard tank pattern, I guess. I don't know, it's not what I ever expected Poland to have. I don't know why. I expected them to have a more green, urban-y camo, even back then. But alas, they have this, which almost feels like a, I don't know, almost like Mediterranean paint scheme, which is like really weird to me. But it looks great. I mean, having both of them done next to each other looks absolutely amazing. And obviously now I know that I did forget to do the weathering on stream, so don't worry about that. But weathering is something I find really fun to do just in my spare time, and I don't know, it's not very interesting to watch, but I was just putting like mud on the front and just playing around with it. You know, I'm still new to weathering, particularly on tanks, because, you know, I don't bloody do tanks, so they are a wonderful new thing for me. So yeah, I really enjoyed doing this model kit, and I think I got a really good result in the end, which I guess you're going to see in a moment, because there wasn't much to paint and there were no decals to do, so that made it even easier. So I guess let's go look at it. Thanks for watching the video, I really appreciate it. Hit the subscribe button if you enjoyed what you saw here today to see more content as it comes. You can also follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/MissModeler to watch me play these games live and chat with me. See you later, bye!